Ladies and gentlemen, hi, I'm Danielle, and I'm a person. I wanted to talk with you today about a topic that's near and dear to my heart, self-esteem. I used to be emotionally and spiritually immature because instead of having self-esteem, I had other esteem, where I thought that I was valuable and worthy because of the things I did, not because of existing as a person. What I have found in my own personal experience, as well as in the experience of a lot of people with whom I work, is that self-esteem is the foundation for emotional and spiritual maturity, because all of the knowledge and skills and experiences that I have can't serve me if I don't at my core believe that I'm worthy. There's a couple of things I'd like to talk with you about with self-esteem. Number one is, let me see a raise of hands for how many of us in here think that self-esteem originates within the self? Come on. I mean, that makes sense, right? Self-esteem, as the name goes, we would think that it comes from within the self. However, I'd like to introduce the idea that self-esteem doesn't actually originate within the self, but instead it has to be given to us by mirroring through someone else first in our lives. It's something that we can maintain, but something that we can't give to ourselves. I like to think of an analogy for a fire, that I have all the wood and kindling here, but someone else has to come and light my fire. And then once it's lit, I can continue to feed it wood. But no matter how hard I tried in my own endeavors, I found that I could not generate my own self-esteem. But instead, it had to be mirrored back to me and reflected back to me, my inherent self-worth, through the eyes of someone else loving me. So that brings me to my next point. Point number 2 is that in here, many of us are coaches and mentors and parents. And so I'd like to also ask that you explore the idea that even though we think in a lot of these roles that we're supposed to give people direction, more importantly sometimes is just the time and attention and empathy that we can give people. By reflecting back to people their inherent worth, regardless of whether they're taking our direction or not, which can be pretty frustrating sometimes, right? That just being a reflection of someone else having worth and value is the job done enough in and of itself. That's what I did. I got a coach, and that's how I started my journey of self-esteem, with someone else, even when I didn't listen to half of the feedback she gave me, just by her reaffirming that I was perfect, even with all my problems, just the way I was, really started to light my fire. And you guys have that power as well with other people. However, there is a third point that I'd like to make, is that are we completely powerless over our self-esteem and giving it to ourselves? No, we're not. I have also found a neat little trick that we can do for our self-esteem, and that is actually using the mirror to mirror back to us our own self-worth. So the exercise I have done is looking in the mirror, looking in my own 2 eyes, saying to myself, Danielle, I love you, and I accept you exactly the way that you are, over and over and over for 3 minutes, in the morning and at night for 2 weeks. And I would actually challenge each of you in here to try this exercise for yourself. Even if you think you have good self-esteem, which most of us probably do in here. But it's an excellent exercise just to try on, because A, once we experience anything, we could possibly pass it on to others. As well as, I've actually found very few people that can do this without either A, wanting to run a couple of days in and say, this isn't for me, I don't want to do this anymore. Or without having some sort of breakthrough that happens when we look in our own 2 eyes. But we can use this mirror to actually reflect back to us and have someone else mirror our self-worth. So it's a neat little trick that I definitely implore you to explore. So for any of us in here that have any role in anyone's life to be of service, in a sense where we can first understand that we have a role to help others in this capacity, capacity by, instead of giving mostly direction, more than anything, time and attention. And then also knowing that we can try on an exercise ourselves